Trump insists he's made a lot of sacrifices after Muslim American war hero's parents called him out at DNC. Donald Trump rebuked the father of a Muslim American war hero whose rousing speech at the Democratic National Convention asserted the Republican has sacrificed nothing. The GOP presidential nominee bizarrely claimed his Trump properties are his own sacrifices, and he blasted the fallen captain's silent mother, who was too emotional to speak herself. The New York businessman dismissed even suggesting he didn't write it himself and instead boasted about himself. "I think I've made a lot of sacrifices. I work very, very hard. I've created thousands and thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs, built great structures. I've had tremendous success. I think I've done a lot." The real estate mogul refused to explain how constructing buildings and creating jobs are sacrifices when Stephanopoulos asked. The question of sacrifice came after Khizr Khan addressed the DNC Thursday night to speak about his late son, Capt. Humayun Khan, who was killed in 2004 in Iraq by suicide bombers after he waved his soldiers back. "Have you ever been to Arlington Cemetery?" Khan asked Trump during his speech. "Go look at the graves of brave patriots who died defending the United States of America. You will see all faiths, genders, and ethnicities. You have sacrificed nothing." Trump brushed off the harsh words, saying the heartbroken dad was very emotional and likely didn't even write his own speech. "Who wrote that? Did Hillary's script writers write it?" he asked the ABC News host. During the Thursday night address, Khan's wife Ghazala stood quietly by his side. Trump harped on the woman's silence, suggesting she may not have been allowed to speak for cultural reasons. "If you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me," Trump said. But she later told MSNBC she chose not to speak because she becomes emotional whenever she thinks about her son. She was reluctant to even go on stage with her husband, she said. "I cannot see my son's picture. I cannot even come in the rooms where his pictures are," she said Friday night. "It is very hard." Khan insisted he wouldn't have been able to address such a large crowd without his wife's support. "Her being there was the strength so I could hold my composure. I am much weaker than she is," he said. "It was her strength that made me stand there and address a candidate for a major party for the highest office of this county." During the same Friday night interview, the Khans asked two of the nation's top Republicans, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Speaker Paul Ryan, to disavow the racist nominee. "Isn't this time to repudiate Trump?" Khan asked. "If your candidate wins and he governs the way he has campaigned, my country, this country, will have constitutional crises, like never before in the history of this country." The teary-eyed father called the two Republicans patriots and decent human beings as he pleaded with them to stop supporting a candidate who wants to bar all Muslims from entering the county. There comes a time in the history of a nation where an ethical, moral stand has to be taken regardless of the political costs, he said. The only reason they're not repudiating his behavior, his threat to our democracy, our decency, our foundation, is just because of political consequences.